Anjum Chopra, ma'am, thank you so much for taking time out to speak to me. I want to talk to you actually about Serena Williams and her decision to evolve away from tennis to, have a second child. Is this a decision that more female athletes actually have to make, of, not having a child and continuing on with their careers, that, this decision is just not acknowledged enough, it's not spoken about enough?
Absolutely. It will cross a lot of female athletes' mind. I'm sure it crosses a male athlete as well, because, while they're in competition, but it's I won't say what's the percentage of thought, but for sure, for a female athlete, it's definitely a massive decision that one needs to take. And before we say that the decision needs to be taken, I think even before this line finishes, they are judged for 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 or against. So I think more than just a decision, it's also about countering the fact that you are judged by society. So it's not just one thing. There are many things. Before you get into sport, you are judged whether you should be getting into sport, and why should and why shouldn't you be getting into sport. Once you get into sport, then obviously there is a discussion altogether as to how you are and how you play and how you look. But the moment that a very sensitive topic, of course, marriage comes through. Will you be able to get married or not? And then even after you get married, the discussion is till when can you continue? So it's a very constant thing of asking questions from a female athlete, much more than a male player. And the journey just continues for the questions, and it finishes as a judgment being passed or a verdict being passed against you.
I actually wanted to ask you that only then. We've actually spoken about this before with other people as well, and a lot of comments that come are, male players are also making a sacrifice. So if you could just explain, because you're a former cricketer yourself, we're not talking about just time away from home, we're not talking about time away from the game, we're talking about physically your body changing. Coming back from birthing a child is going to be a massive change your body, and a lot of things you have to actually dedicate yourself to be able to come back.
Obviously, it's not easy to have another life come, first conceive, and then for another life to come out of you, and then come back to competition, to prepare to coming back to competition. It's not easy, and I think it's a great effort, and it's commendable for all those female athletes who have actually done that, to gone through that process. So it's not easy, and I'm sure it's not easy even for a male athlete, because at the end of the day, they also need to make sacrifices and some decision making, but the physicality of it is obviously felt by the female. And yes, I mean, at the end of the day, as I said earlier, you're always asking those questions, and you're making those decisions, and then you're walking a very tightrope.
Okay. Serena Williams, of course, we know, has Olympia already. Sania Mirza has a son. Bisma Maroof has a baby girl. These are amazing athletes who could come back from, having a child and make a successful comeback. But this was also thanks to, provisions in the system. Tennis has protected rankings, meaning if you go on a maternity break, your ranking from the day you go away is what you return at. So your career doesn't spiral as such in the year or 2 year away. Same in cricket, Bisma had, PCB says they have a maternity policy. You feel these are little moves that maybe the Indian Sports Ministry, even the BCCI could make in just encouraging and just giving a little support to our female athletes?
I'm sure. I don't think the day is too far away when that support is extended. It's about, and for all you know, it might be already in the corridors of discussion. The only thing is, only when somebody asks for, maternity leave, or they want that they should be given all the facilities back when they come back while they were in competition, I'm pretty sure. And it's not too difficult to be offering that. As I said, when you make a decision, and for a Wimbledon, or for a tennis association, for any competition, to give that ranking back to that tennis player is a great support lent. But at the end of the day, the female athlete has to still make the effort of being fit enough to walk onto the court and then play. So that's the little or the least support that the organization can give. And I'm pretty sure, if required, whether it's under BCCI or under the sports ministry, I'm sure a provision like this will be made, and it's not that difficult to make it as well.